All right, welcome back to another video, Disc Zone fans. This is recap of my round number 2. As you can tell by my voice, it went a lot better than round 1. I shot an even round, which felt pretty good. Hole 1, Ethan was on the bag, so shout out to him. He's still laying in bed. I went with my proxy, pured the shot, and went like 100 feet long. Got up and down for a par, which was honestly crazy so far. Hole 2, I decided to go with the 9-speed, go with the Thunderbird, and just throw it hard on a highs and have it flip up straight. Threw it to the ground, but advanced decently halfway up the fairway and pitched up with my A2. Got a par there, so off to a good start. Hole 3, I went with the same hyzer play. There was a left to right headwind, so coming this way. I went with my MF Doom Destroyer on a hyzer. Thought it was going to fade out left more, but I just got in front of the first bubble off to the left. So on my upshot, I was debating whether or not to maybe go with the fairway or with another destroyer. So I went with my Koi Destroyer. If you want one, check one out at discount.com. I just threw it a little too high. Footing was a little bit weird. It was before the Mandos, so I needed to throw a shot that with a lot of hyzer, nose up, and have it skip up left. So I went with my proton deflector, and I did exactly that. Put myself inside the circle, had a tester putt, so I hit a 25 footer and made it and felt really good. So on to hole 4. Hole 4, I keep going with my TL3. I was this much close to just puring the gap the same way I aced, if you haven't checked that out. It kicked right. I wouldn't say I was in a bad position. I wouldn't say I was in a good position, but I had a chance to get it up and down. I just softed my A2 because I didn't want to throw it hard and have my upshot land like 30 feet long. So I threw it short, had to do this weird straddle putt with my right foot behind the mini, and then almost made it dead center. I'm glad I gave it was a good bid. So bogeyed that. Hole 5, I went sidearm DD2, and I thought I flipped it over and almost went out of bounds, but landed in a really good position. Upshot on hole 5, I went with my MF Doom Destroyer with a hyzer. I threw it a little too low. I should have thrown it a little bit more wide because there was a right to left wind. Also, I'm like throwing from downhill to uphill, so the wind's just gonna catch the underside of the disc. But it looked good, and then I was like, slow down, and I just landed inbounds next to pretty much on the line. And from there on, I went with my pyro. I was in a great spot. I went pyro flat, and the wind just took care of it. Went left and just outside bullseye for my first birdie of the round, which felt really good. Hole 6, I've been going with my beat up star Firebird, and then again I threw a perfect shot. Slight hyzer flip straight and just skipped into the bullseye. And now I'm feeling like I'm throwing my shots more confident. I'm committing more to my shot, and I'm very happy it's working out. So on hole 7, I went proxy again. This time I didn't miss the gap. I pured it. I threw it a little too high and went out of bounds long. And now I'm honestly not too worried about that because I made my comeback putt for par. That was a good par putt. On hole 8, instead of going TL3, which I did round 1, I went with my hex and tried throwing it hard flat and have it the wind, because it was a right to left wind, just kind of keep it straight. But I managed to turn it a little and put me in a decent spot. I went sidearm DD2, but I threw it a little too much hyzer and sawed off. Maybe because it was my footing, I thought it was, but it was just a little sawed off. Managed to hit the wall, roll back into the little gap that's there, and had to do like a straddle sidearm A2. Had a 25 footer for par, managed to save that for par. Hole 9, I went with my Halo Champion Destroyer again, and it's another shot where my disc could have gone out of bounds, but I was in by like probably 3 inches, half a disc maybe, and made my putt inside circle for bird. And from there on, I felt like I was feeling really good. Hole 10, I've been going with a safe play, so I've been going hex. This time I went A2 backhand for the upshot. I thought I threw it short, but managed to put myself inside circle. Was putting it was a little bit of wind, and I threw my putt a little too high, hit band and flag, and kind of sat there tapping 4. Hole 11, stepped up to the tee pad feeling really good. I went with my Thunderbird again, but this time a little bit more hyzer and committed to the line. Hyzer flip straight. I thought I was gonna go into the hazard right, but came back and fought nicely. Upshot, I was asking Ethan what I should throw here, core destroyer or another destroyer, but I knew the shot was going to be a sidearm, so I went with my core destroyer sidearm, popped it out on a little hyzer, skipped long, and the spotters were looking at it for a little bit, and I was worried it might have gone into the hazard, but I just went long, just outside circle 1. I had a putt at it and chained out left, which I was probably maybe like a 50-50 if I would have birdied or not, but another tap in 4. Hole 12, I remember if you watch the round 1 recap, I kind of talked to Chris about just like committing to my shot. So I went Halo Champion Destroyer on a hyzer, flipped up straight. I feel like if there was no wind, it would have been the perfect shot, but I landed on the bubble. And from there, I proceeded to throw my third shot from the drop zone. I went MF Doom Destroyer.
You might be all right.
I think I threw it a little too early or sawed it off, but with the wind, it just managed to push it down. And I had probably a 15, 18 footer for par, managed to save that for par, which felt good. 13, I still don't know what to do on 13. I might just go, Chris has been telling me to go with the MF Doom Destroyer, so I'm going to do that. I went with my Star Firebird thinking I could turn it over and control the angle, and I just did not throw a turnover. I threw pretty much a flat shot and went into the woods. Had to pitch out with my proxy. I pitched out in a good spot. Ethan ranged around 300, 320, about there. And I went with my Halo X Out Destroyer. Out of my hand, it looked a little too tight, and I managed to skip out of bounds long right. And this was a pretty far putt for my bogey. If I airball the putt, I could have gone out of bounds again, but managed to hit a huge putt for bogey. That felt good. Hole 14, I went with the same disc. Hex, it was more of a tailwind this time. And I threw it hard, slight hyzer flip, and it just went dead straight. Didn't really go left to right. So I was about 40, 45 feet away, pin high from the pin. My head was telling me to run it, but my body was like, don't run it, just lay up. So I just laid up, tap in 3. Hole 15, way better shot than round 1. I went with my Halo, that same disc I threw a sidearm on 13. I went backhand with and just went long. I pured the gap, and that was probably one of my best shots during the round. Approached with my A2 from like about 200 feet away, and I got the bird there. Felt nice. Hole 16, I went hex again. Out of my hand, I thought I threw it so perfect. Flat, like right at the basket, but maybe because of the wind, it just like pushed down, turned over right. I parked the FPO pin. I was stoked. I could have gone putting wise. I could have gone right at the basket or just a hyzer. I decided to just go hyzer because I'm not really good with my straight putts. I'm more of a hyzer putter. Hit the cage and sat down, tap in 3. 17, I managed to make the island again. I went pyro. I knew that if I want to make a mistake, I want to go right and a little long. So that's exactly what I did. I could have ran the birdie putt, but I was afraid of me missing and just going out of bounds just because the basket's so close to the hay bales. And if you hit rim or band, it could kick left. And I didn't want that to happen, so I gave that like a soft bid, I guess. Tap in 3. Hole 18 is the hole I've been struggling on, as I said in the beginning. So I decided to go teal 3. I felt pretty good. My landing spot, if you could maybe tell from the video, there's 2 flags up there, a third of the fairway. That's kind of where I want to land, but I didn't do that. I threw my teal 3 a little low and rolled out of bounds, and I went from the out of bounds spot on my third shot. Tried going Star Firebird, just my beat up one on a flat, maybe slight hyzer angle and push it. I'd just been giving myself bad footing on that one, and I'm not too happy about that, so I need to throw it better. Then on my third shot, I threw it out of bounds again, kind of punching myself because at that point, before going into hole 18, I was 2 down, and that was a really good round for me. Pitched up with my proxy. had a farther putt than the previous putt I had like on round one, and don't get me wrong, I was thinking about missing that too, probably a little bit, and managed to make
So
it
Manny,
for a double. Still even round 10-24. Yeah, if I could have shot that the first round, I would have been stoked. Conclusion: I committed more to my shots. I knew in my head what I wanted to do. Making my putts felt good. Sidearms were good. Backhands were good. Now it's just clean up those bogeys and play holes a lot smarter and maybe get a little bit more aggressive. But with this wind that we've been having in the morning, it's been a little tough. But overall, I'm having a lot better time second round. So that was it for my recap. If you want to check out some discs, go to www.diszone.com. Make sure to like and subscribe. Follow Diszone on Instagram. Follow me on Instagram. And stay tuned for the recap round 3. Thank you.